Hello, I'm Sandy, and I want to write a horror book. In order to write a book, I need to read a book, but I suffer from dyslexia, so I struggle a bit to get through something a bit chunky. So if you've got dyslexia, and maybe you struggle with reading some chunky books, then this video will be for you. So I'm going to take you through a few steps on how I would be able to get through a chunky book.
Number 1.
You can go to the library or you can go to a bookshop and they'll have a section. You just go and ask somebody. They've got a section for particularly specific dyslexic books, and it usually means that they're kind of spread out. The letters are all kind of spread out. There's a lot more spacing, so you can kind of read the text a lot easier, without falling asleep. Because that's kind of what happens to me. I read a book and then I'm out for the count. So I don't have the concentration, my brain just switches off. So if that's you, something that might help if you get these books that are kind of dyslexic friendly, that will help you.
Number 2.
An audiobook, it seems quite obvious. You can go away and you can listen to it on all sorts of different servers. You can pick what kind of accent you want at times. But if you're a bit like me, I'm neurodiverse, and it means that I'm a bit picky with the voices that I can listen to in order for me to get lost in the story or absorb the information that I'm actually listening to. So sometimes an audiobook's not quite for me. That's not the right option for me. But it might be for you.
Number 3.
Now there's lots of different sections in libraries and bookshops called the young adult section. And they're usually written a wee bit simpler. So something like this. This is a horror series that DARREN SHAN wrote. Lord of Loss. This is my favourite book in this series, and it's a lot more easier to digest. It's shorter books. You've got less to read, so you can kind of take your time and go through it. Also, in the young adult section in these books, you get particular books that are written in a different way. So you get like a journal entry that tells you part of the story, and then there's some text message conversations that's telling you a bit more of the story, letters back and forth, drawings, so it's a lot easier to understand some of these young adult books.
Number 4.
You can even go a bit lower than that and you can get something like this, like Goosebumps, which is written for a younger age, but you're still getting a lot of story in there. And I'm sure you're well aware of the classic Goosebumps books. There was TV series, there's a new TV series on Disney as well. Highly recommend, if you want to start off small, you can read some Goosebumps books or anything of the equivalent.
5. Add color.
And this is the one that works best for me. What do I mean by using a colour? Well, as you can see, the page is written in black on white, and this is something that I struggle with, and this is what makes my brain switch off. So you can get these sheets, these coloured sheets, and you get them in any kind of art supplier. You can get them on Amazon, anywhere like that. And what you want to do is you just put the sheet over the page, and it makes the words pop out more, and it's just so much easier to read. The main thing is you have to discover your colour. So mine's is lilac, but I also have blue as well. And you can even just use like a folder, and you can see it brings up the words there, it kind of makes them pop out even more. So once you find your colour, it can help a lot, putting kind of a coloured sheet over the page, and it lets the letters pop out a bit more. Your concentration is just so much better.
6.
Taking your time. This is really helpful for me. You want to just pick out what you're going to read. So you can put a ruler underneath your lines as you read them. So you just find the end of the sentence, put the ruler underneath the sentence, and then cover everything else up. Don't let that distract you, and move it down as you read. And this helps me just break up the text, because sometimes I see a lot of text on the page and it's overwhelming. It's too much for me. So if you put a ruler on there, you're blocking off the rest of the text, so your brain is actually zoning in on what you're actually reading, and it's going in more, you're absorbing it more, you're getting a lot more value from the book that you're reading.
7.
You can keep a journal of things that you read, and if you read 3 sentences in one day, that is a win. It's a big win for you. If you read a paragraph, that's an even bigger win. And it might not seem like it at the time, but you're gradually building up, you know, because it's not the easiest thing to do when your brain doesn't want to read something, but you do want to read something. It's difficult. It's like they're fighting together. So the best thing is just don't be too hard on yourself. I hope these tips have helped. If you want to know about any of the books that I'm actually reading at the moment to write my book, if you want to know any kind of tips that I use to go over different kinds of struggles being a neurodiverse actor, then please just leave it down in the comments. I am dyslexic, I'm dyspraxic, I've got dyscalcia and ADHD. So I have different methods of managing each thing. So if you want to know more, please do leave me a comment. Please like the video if you've got any kind of tips from it at all. If you've managed to take anything away, please do just give it a little like. Also, let me know your tips. I'd love to know more. I'm always learning of how to kind of read better, how to manage numbers better. So if you leave it down in the comments, that would help me out a lot. And I will see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching.